Hi everyone, today is September 30, Friday, and not a very good day for Nike tonight in Hong Kong time, because Nike is being crashed after the announcement of the performance report, and then tonight the post-market stock price already dropped at more than 9%. This is actually, if you just look at the figures, then some of the figures announced is not bad. But if you go to the report and then you look at the debt level, you look at the inventory, and then you look at every districts, right? The America and then Europe and then China, then you will see that is the increments been in America still okay, but in Europe seems already is 1%, and in China is a big decrease, right? It's not increase, it's a big decrease of the revenue. Then no need to say about the net income in Great China. So I think that the crash of the stock price of 9.3%, the post market. Yesterday it dropped at 3% already, and the post market dropped it further, 9.3%. But if you look at the EPS, then I still think that is not enough. And I know a lot of people is holding Nike stock. I do not have Nike stock. I have Lululemon. And a lot of people is not may not happy for what I'm just said, but actually if I just analyze the report, then this is the true thing, right? This is the fact, right? So actually I will analyze in detail in our Hong Kong channel, but just show you some figures, then you will know what I'm saying is true, right? Okay, then for our Falcon portfolio, been already 44 double 4 months, right? Then everything now contracts, right? Everything falls right now. Today in Japan stock market also falls, right? Only one stock market is not falling is Sensex. That means India. It has a very slightly increment, 0.7%, but still is increasing, right? And Hong Kong's been weak for many months already, right? So our Falcon portfolio been 44 months, then we also dropped it to only have 35% increment. So for any stock or any topics then about economy then you want me to discuss, then you can leave your comment under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me by Usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. This is our Falcon 350,000 portfolio, right? Then you can see that even the Nasdaq has been dropped to only 39% compared to 44 months before, and then our portfolio now is 35%. And you can see that in 2022 we've been dropped by 30%. It's a very high percentage. You can see that what we have is Google, Apple, Adobe, and then AMD, and then AutoZone. AutoZone is okay, we just dropped it by 3%, right? But you can see that for Adobe or AMD, we dropped it by 22% compared to 2 years before, right? It's so crazy, right, on the stock market. So this is our covering. Then Nike crashed it after the performance report. We will come to that, right, very soon. So for Dow Jones, yesterday been dropped it. One day before it rised more than 500 points, and then yesterday it dropped it another 458 points. And Nasdaq, 2 days before it rised by more than 200 points, and then it dropped it by 300 points yesterday. And we compare the US 10 years Treasury yield, then quite obvious. Yesterday's rate is 3.796%, and then 1 week before, that means the previous Friday is 3.455. So the interest rate at least putting up by a quarter, so the stock market must fall. Okay, we go to some headlines first. And this morning, Japan's Nikkei falls more than 2%. Right, it's awful. And then for Asia Pacific market also slides. Right, yesterday because the S&P 500 closes at New Year low. Right. When we come to UK, in this few days, then she will buy back the 10 years treasury bond, right? But actually she just announced that it is just for short, maybe for 1 week, something like that, because it's no point for her to buy back her treasury bond, right? Because what she want to issue at that time is to collect the money from the market, and then now she buy back is because she doesn't want speculating to dump off and then make the pounds further drops again. But then it is just for short time, maybe just for 1 week, we don't know. So you can see that the pounds to US dollars been raised from 0.93 and then to 0.90 yesterday night, but who knows, right? Actually, I'm still thinking that the pounds is still dangerous unless she put up the band rate, right? But the point is, if she further put up the band rate, we know that actually the band rate now for England is 2.25, and then you can just see the band rate for America now is 3.8 something. So she may need to put up 1.2 or 1.5 or 1.7%. I don't know, right? But the point is, for next October or November or December, then America will further put up the interest rate by 1.25. So actually, if we freeze at this time, then the interest rate difference is more than nearly 3%, right? Maybe 2.8%. So imagine that if this year UK put up the interest rate by 2.8%, the recession will immediately cover the whole UK, right? And the property market crashed, the stock market crashed, the job market crashed, right? Then all is cut off and lay off because the inflation is too high. The inflation is high, and then the money wallet is not volatile in the whole UK. So this is disaster. Then Hong Kong is beginning like that, and then America has been for that for more than half years already, because for America she put up the interest rate since this February. Since this February is seven months already, right? So this is very difficult time for UK and then for the whole Europe. But seems, right, unless we just do the pin the money notes, right? Pin the money note, or just increase the band rate, then I don't think she has, in the short time, she has any dose for this situation. It's very bad. Then we have to cross our fingers and see, right? So hold more US dollar, right? Hold more US dollar, right? And then just have enough pounds for your daily life, maybe for 1 year or 2 years is okay, right? This is the only way. Okay, then this is funny. Then you know that for Nasdaq, S&P, Dow sinks, and then the explanation is the Fed worries the spark renewed setting. This is twisted. Always this is twisted explanation, right? So because the employment market seems okay, right? Seems okay for yesterday night, and then they have another explanation than because the market worries the spark renewed the selling. It doesn't matter, right? The market's like that, but there is a true threat there, right? You can see that the demand for iPhone 14 is softening because of China. Great percentage of that is due to China, right? And then another one is the Micron. And then Micron also announced the finance result on Q4. Actually, everything is bad, right? I just show you one page. You can see that when compared to 1 quarter before, you can see the QQ change. All is negative. Compute and networking decreased by 25%, mobile 23%, storage 34%, embedded 9%. Okay, if you compare with 1 year the quarter before, all is decreased. YY change 1 year before decreased by 23%, 20%, 26%, and 4%. Only by compare the 1 year to 1 year, then still have something, right? So very bad result for Micron. We may discuss in our Hong Kong channel in October. Then we come to Nike. I'm not going to discuss the full finance report in detail. I will discuss it in our Hong Kong channel. We do not have this stock, right? We have Lululemon. But the point is that a lot of people is holding Nike, and because Nike's stock price also dropped a lot. The dividend is okay. Then a lot of people then may buy the in between, and then they may face another awful result from Nike. I think that is because of some of the area is because of the inflation, and then is a slightly recession. But then there is a very big recession of Nike's market in China. So there is a big backward in Great China of a result of this quarter. Here I just show you the wet words, right? The wet letters. You can see that yesterday Nike's stock price dropped at 3.41 percentage, right? The percentage is 3.41%. But look at the post market. After she announced the performance result, you can see the post market is further dropped by 9.36%. That means another $9. I honestly, if just from the report, then it's not enough. That means to add it together is just about not up to 13%. Not up to 13%. She may further drop if need to in line with the result, right? I just show you the 5-year stock price chart. You can see that for Nike, stock price has already been dropped from 180 to 95. That means nearly in half already. And then after tonight, maybe it dropped at 55%, right? Most likely to happen. And then the dividend is still okay for Nike. It's 1.28%. Still okay for Nike, right? So actually, what happened to Nike? If you just look at the revenue, then it beat the consensus, right? It beat the consensus by 410 million US dollar, right? And then for the direct sales, then it's 5.1 billion, up 8%. And then if for I'm not happy to say that to adjust for the currency, then you can say that adjust for currency just to show you if the currency is the same, then it's a little bit fair for the company. But the point is in the reality, then the currency they changed it already. So this is the fact, right? We should always stick to the fact. Then we can omit some 1 quarter effect. But the point is actually the currency been changed. You keep on telling me that if the currency not changed, then it will be much better. There's no use because the currency been changed, right? So you can see that for the Nike brand, digital sales increased by 16%. seems okay, right? For the first three phases. And then the gross margin decreased by 220 basis points. And then how about the net income margin, right? This is the only ratio that I'm concerned. No point for the gross margin, right? And then for the cash, then still you can explain why the cash and equivalent being decreased, because for the repurchase and buyback, and then the cash dividend is okay, right? And the thing that is awful is the inventory is $9.7 billion, up by 44% compared to 1 year before. If you remember well, when we analyzed for Lululemon, or we just analyzed it for Costco and then for BJ, they just 30%. We are not happy with 30%, but we don't know that, right? Because actually the recession comes quite quickly and then widespread. But the point is, for the inventory of 44% is very high. Actually, for Nike, I think it's still okay, because maybe we do not mind to buy some running shoes 2 quarters before, right? But the point is, she has to reduce the price, right? For short sleeves, then she has to reduce the price. So you can see that a lot of garments, a lot of the running shoes, she produces just put on the inventory. No one buy it. And then that should be what? That should be the money. We consider if the inventory level is just 30%, then she may have $2 billion more. Then the whole scenario changed, right? So this is a mistake by the management, then I can say. And this is because 90% is because of China. Take a look on 2 pages of the finance report. Then you can see that in America, seems okay, right? We forget about the change, excluding the currency change, because it did change it already, right? Just make you feel happier. Okay, if the currency is not changed, we perform much better, but it did change it, right? It's history already, right? So it's no point to further instate that then the currency unchanged are much better, then forget about it, right? So we just look at the percentage change. You can see that for the North America, okay, seems all right. Then the revenue increased by 13%, 1-3, right? And this performance result is up to end of August, right? Not long, just 1 month before. And if we look at for the Europe, Middle East, and Africa, nearly no increment at all, only 1%, right? And then if we look at Greater China, it decreased by 16%, right? 16. So the inventory comes from here, right? So as a whole, the revenue only increased by 5%. It seems still okay, right? Don't be happy yet. So this shows you the truth, right? Okay, if we look at the earnings before interest and tax, right? That means EBIT, I don't know how to say EBITDA, right? Earnings before interest and tax. So you can see that the total Nike earning before interest and taxes decreased by 15%, 1-5, right? We always compare that the interest rate is the same, and then the tax rate for the other countries and Americas is the same. More or less they're the same, right? That is most easy to compare the efficiency of the sales and the efficiency of generating the cash. It decreased by 15%. Honestly, I told you, I just saw it. For the earnings per share decreased by how much? 20%. That means if by tonight the stock price dropped by 9.3%, and then yesterday only dropped by 3%, is not enough, because all we need to look at for the stock price is to reflect the EPS. If the EPS dropped by 20%, then she should drop by 20%, right? That means she at least still have to drop by more than 8%. This is a disaster, right? So she have to ratify her strategy in China, right? She hold a lot of stock for China, right? You can see that if China is not decreasing by 16%, and in the contrary, if China increased by 16%, then everything solved it. The stock level may be just 30%, right? And then now she has a big headache. She has to immediately reduce the price and then dump out the stock first, because stock is money, right? Because then coming is half years for hot, half years for the winter. For short sleeve, you have to do a big sales. For old styles of the running shoes, then you have to reduce the prices for discount. So I think that Nike's stock price or the profit will be still weak for at least 2 seasons or more. Don't buy it if you don't have. All right. And then I think that if you hold a lot of stock of Nike, then you should dump out a little bit, maybe 30%, something like that. Right? I know that it's hard, right? I know that it's hard, especially you buy it and more than $100, right? Some people bought it at more than $100. It's hard, right? But the reality is like that, right? So I will explain the whole finance report in detail in our Hong Kong channels, right? And also the Micron, right? Okay, so we share update here, and thanks for watching. And then please give us a like if you like this program. Any comment is welcome, and then you can share to your friend if you think your friend will like it. Then please help to press the subscribe button and then press the bell icon next to it. So whenever there is new video uploaded, then you will get informed by YouTube. Okay, everyone have a very nice weekend. Then hopefully tonight Dow Jones and Nasdaq will rise up tonight, right? We can see, right? We'll see. Okay, see you guys next week. Bye bye.